Welcome to Pod Applaud, the Monday through Friday podcast that aims to enable your podcast habit. I'm your host, Seb, and today we are going back to nature with podcast The Wild. The Wild is a journalistic look at the wilderness, its inhabitants, and its relation with humankind. Currently, the show has released 4 full episodes that trend toward about 25 minutes in length. Going forwards, it looks like we can expect new episodes to be released weekly on Tuesday. When it comes to checking out The Wild, I saw the show was trending, and more impactfully, I saw the show's amazing cover art, the image of the great grizzly's fur melding away into the copse of trees is amazing and definitely caught my attention. The show is put out by KUOW, which you might recall from shows such as Primed and other Seattle-based news-centric endeavors. Alright, so what does an episode of The Wild actually entail? Well, in the first episodes, our ecologist host, Chris Morgan, lays out how cougars are encroaching and overlapping more with humanity as our developed society reduces their ecosystems. We learn some more about the cats and then dive into an expedition to track down a cougar mama and gather DNA from her little cubs. We get tantalizing on-the-scene audio, including some rather cute mewlings of the young cubs. The next episode is about an even more dramatic encounter with a grizzly. And the third is all about a labored search to track down a rare German wolf. The show feels very much like they ripped the audio from a nature documentary, which I have mixed feelings about. Sometimes I feel the bigger media outlets are just taking things from other media spaces and trying to cash in on the popularity of podcasts at the moment. I will say that Chris Morgan's is an enthusiastic and sweet host, in that during episode 2 he got quite vulnerable and personal with the audience in a way that you would not likely experience if this was a televised nature documentary. The format does lose a lot without the visuals of the animals. It is the rare allure of seeing the wild with our own eyes, completely foreign to our modern comforts, that makes those nature docs so compelling. My favorite episode was the most current one, all about beavers. I knew some of the hidden beaver lore, but this episode really stepped up my beaver knowledge and respect for the radical rodents. Worth noting, in the beaver episode, there is no emphasis on tracking down beavers and getting on-the-scene footage. Wait, can you even call it footage if there's no video? The show touts additional content on their website, which I checked out as well. It looks to be pictures of Chris, the production team, and their wilderness guides. I figured they might have some videos since they're making the efforts to be on the scene, but so far that's not the case. Regardless, I think they will find more success if they downplay tracking the animals and stay focused on telling the history and current state of our relationship with the wild. Here on Pod Applaud, I rate shows on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is silence, 2 is a slow clap, 3 is applause, 4 is a round of applause, and 5, of course, is a standing ovation. I think it's a little early in the show's life to give it a definitive rating. So far, I would rate the Beaver episode a 4, a round of applause, and the other episodes are at a 3 for me. Passable, but I would defer to a nature doc nearly every time for that type of content. I'll keep an eye on this show, and depending on what route they go, I might be a loyal listener, or I might practice catch and release with the wild. At this point, I'm not sure who to recommend the show to. Keep it on your radar if you're an animal lover, but definitely listen to the recent Beaver episode. That one I fully endorse. That's been the show for today. I hope you found it valuable. If you wish to reach out or follow me, you can find me on Twitter at PodApplaud, or send an email to podaplot@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please tune in again.